You wrote an article as well about the long-term home of the Browns. So the future of where the team plays remains up in the air. Last week, City of Cleveland released its $461 million offer to renovate Cleveland Browns Stadium, according to a report in April, and it's kind of being updated as we go. Browns ownership with the state of Ohio want a domed stadium in Brook Park, and it will. They've released some renderings. It comes with a report that the decision is in the works. It's $3.6 billion. It will have complexes around it that, hotels and entertainment districts and the like. Jared, this is a topic that's kind of interesting. Go back to when the Browns left and when they came back. Everybody was all excited, but there were things that were shortcut. The roster being put together. Everybody else had 2 years. The Browns had basically a year. It led to things that weren't good. The stadium rebuild was shortcut. That leads to things that aren't built. There's a thing in business. The mistakes you make on the front end of a project take decades to overcome. So, and listen, you mentioned Jimmy Haslam. He had a quick trigger with coaches. But all he's done is spend money on keeping this roster among the elite. If he wants a domed stadium, my guess is it's so he can generate more revenue, so he can dump more revenue into this franchise. So he hasn't done anything that has been, well, it's good enough. I mean, they just renovated the facility in Berea because he wants it to be top of the line. Why would he settle for an outdated stadium on game day that is, good enough, but is got less lifespan than if you go and you build a dome and it's elite? Can you answer that?
It's kind of, yeah. I mean, you don't know. Like, it almost feels, I don't know why it popped in my head, but it almost feels like the Ayuk Cooper conversation, right? Why go for the newer, maybe more expensive? Let's just stick with the known, even though it's aging and all of that. And let's pay for that, right? The Browns literally built both their roster and their stadium on poor foundations, right? They wanted to compete right away. They wanted to get back at the Ravens and Art Modell and all of that kind of stuff. And literally just wanted to use the same structure, the same foundation, the same sewage system from the old Brown Stadium so that they could get that going quickly and all of that. And so in the end, putting more money into a stadium that weather and all of that is probably got 10 to 20 years, even if they put $1 billion into it, has 15 to 20 years before it'll need $2 to $3 to $4 billion. Doesn't make a lot of sense. And Cleveland taxpayers would foot half of that bill. The Brook Park, and I'm not going to pretend to be a financial expert, the Brook Park deal, the 3.6, 2 point some of that is going for just the stadium, would be a lot of revenue directly from what's happening in the stadium, the parking around the stadium, new revenue, not trying to pull old revenue or find new revenue to pay for it. And it would give an opportunity for hotels, WrestleMania, Final Fours, all of that. In the end, I think what I've heard from Browns fans is twofold. Who's paying for it? Sounds like Jimmy Haslam's willing to pay more for a dome and something in Brook Park, right? Buying the land, paying a larger portion of a larger total price. And the other thing has been the dome versus open air. But this is an organization. I'm not going to use the word paranoid. I'm going to use the word likes to be in control. And I think one of the things about a dome stadium, it allows the organization to be in control. They don't have to worry about 10-degree weather with sideways rain all of a sudden screwing over a roster that they're paying huge money for. So in the end, this is where it was all going to go. I think once it all works itself out, fans will be happy. The bottom line will be happy. Jimmy Haslam will be happy. And I think it will, in the end, put the Browns in the best situation to compete.
Yeah, and again, nothing he has done, being Jimmy Haslam as the owner, has been, it's good enough. Even the crazy moves that he made with coaches, I believe they were all aimed at, hey, we got to find a way to win. We got to find a way to win. We got to find a way to win. So why wouldn't you expect him and welcome the fact that he wants an elite facility that is his home for this franchise?
And just to be honest, it gives the city of Cleveland an opportunity to develop an area that hasn't been developed, right? And so it could actually be better for the city. You're paying less for the stadium, more services, and now you have a downtown area and a lakefront area that you can develop into something, whatever that something is, that could draw people in a different way, right? It's not 7 home games, 8 home games, maybe a playoff game, maybe 1 or 2 concerts. It could draw people more often as long as it's developed correctly. And so let's get rid of those old foundations. Let's start new and see what we can do in all of these areas.
Yeah, I'm with you. You know, Cincinnati developed the riverfront. Detroit has developed the lakefront. San Antonio is built on a riverfront. There are ways to do it. I mean, and it generates more revenue for the city of Cleveland than the 8 dates that the Browns would. So I'm with you.
And it'll be a cool looking stadium.